Hey, what is going on, you trick-or-treating Trevenant? So, the other day on the stream, someone shared with me a bracket made by Mellow Magikarp with decks from the Sun and Moon to Lost Thunder format, and I came to the conclusion on what is the greatest deck from that format. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a like, and let me know in the comment section down below any matchups you think I picked incorrectly, and what was your favorite deck from that format. Let's go ahead, let's get into it. Alright, so Zoro Tails. It's Zoro Rock Tails, right? There was also Lycanroc in there, right? What is Dusty Ruckus? What the heck is Dusty Ruckus? Someone let me know what Dusty Ruck is. Sceptile, Shuckle, Zoroark Decidueye, Zorotails is ZDT. Zoro Decitails. Zoro Tails is when you just had Ninetales, Zoroark, and Lycanroc. TRGX? Oh, okay, then Zorotails is definitely moving on over that. Zoroark Decidueye versus Sceptile, Shuckle. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure if Zoro Decidueye would beat Sceptile Shuckle. It probably would, though, because Sceptile Shuckle was a bad deck. Psychic Malamar versus Tapu Koko Poison. That deck was cool. You spread a lot, and then you move the damage around at the end. Plus the poison damage. I think Tapu Koko Poison would probably beat Psychic Malamar. Ikaray against Attacking Steelix. What is Attacking Steelix? That's not the Steelix control deck, right? Then, if it's called Attacking Steelix. Zorotails is ZDT. Oh, Zorotails is ZDT? Okay. Radiant Steelix? No, this is from an old format. Is Koko Poison Wheezing? No, Koko Poison is Koko plus Viper plus the tool card that when you get hit, they get poisoned. All right, Attacking Steelix ain't beating Vikaray. Vikaray's not beating much, but it's beating Attacking Steelix. So Galio. Was So Galio a deck? Was So Galio a deck? What? I just peeped this deck. Played this. Oh, this is like control though. Yeah, this is like a control deck still though. You just eventually can attack with Steelix. This is attacking Steelix. This deck is not attacking with Steelix. So we give Blacephalon over So Galio for sure. Ultra Malamar versus Zoroark Gyarados. It's an interesting one. Zoroark Gyarados was super sick. And generally Zoroark is favored against Malamar, but I think I will give it to Zoroark Gyarados because you have a way to one-hit KO the Ultra Necross. All right, Gardevoir against Weavile Honchkrow. That's not even close. Guardy wins. Lost March versus Quagnag. Actually, I played that matchup too many times, and Lost March is favorable in that one. Wait. Was there anything in Quagnag to draw multiple prize cards at once? You had the Volcanion. It is Nagquag, yeah. You can drag the other option? Oh, maybe I can, yeah. Oh, I can, yeah. So I'm giving Lost March the advantage here. Zoroark versus Alolan Executor. Which Alolan, this has no Volk? Okay, which Alolan Executor deck is this? The energy one? That deck is so bad. All right, Zoroark Weavile versus... Ooh, the White Kyurem deck was pretty cool. Zoroark Weavile was also a terrible deck. Zoroark Weavile was I played it at the first League Cup in this format, I remember. Me and Pram went to a League Cup. And I was like, oh, it's gonna be dope. Zoroark Weavile, super good. And I think we both went 0-2 drop or 1-2 drop or something. I'm gonna give it to White Kyurem over the Zoroark Weavile. White Kyurem's probably not beating many other Zoroark decks, but I think it beats Zoroark Weavile. Zoroark Weavile is pretty mid. Malamar Spread versus Stage 2 Box. All right, I need some insight. What is Stage 2 Box? And I actually have to look at the video for this one then. Let's look at the video real fast so we can get an idea of what decks we're talking about here. This is attacking Steelix. This deck was so mid. All right, moving on. Frying Pan was a sick card though. It's the poison deck. Okay, so I'm getting an idea of everything. This has to be Stage 2 Box. This deck looks terrible. This is Stage 2 Box for sure. This deck looks awful. All right, so we're going to go ahead and say... I'm going to give it to Malamar Spread, especially because there is a lot of V-Poke or GX Pokemon in there. Timestamps in the description? Oh, is there really? Oh, someone needs to tell Mello how to actually use timestamps so it shows up here. You have to do it the other way. Is Mello in here still? You put the number first, and then it actually creates timestamps. This just does this. Dude, someone teach Mello how to YouTube, bro. What the heck? All right, moving on. We got Buzzrock versus Baby Buzz. Favorite for Baby Buzz. We give Vapiolas the edge there for sure. Melo has a child. He's busy. Nah, no excuses. Zoropod versus Granbull. I feel like that is Zoropod favored. So we're giving it to Pod over Granbull, but it was close, I think. Granbull struggled against Zoroark decks in general, right? Like it was unfavorable, but winnable? If I remember correctly. Peep the list. Granbull. All right, so Granbull. You had the Shrines. Voice Belts. Maybe that matchup's not that bad, though, is actually. I'm going to give it to Granbull, because Granbull was definitely the better deck in the format as well, actually. Like, you shouldn't be caught playing Zoropod in that format. Zoroark Glaceon versus Wallstall. That's a Wallstall dub for sure, right? Zoro Control. What one was Zoro Control? Let's peep it back at the video again. Oh, wait, this is the deck that actually we played. So this is my this is what Danny won LAIC with. I made this deck. Sableye was my idea in this deck, actually. We were testing. I went down to Florida early and stayed at Jimmy's house. I played very few games, but I was theorying hardcore. And I was like, what if we played a deck with 4 Sableye with the limitation? So we tried a deck with 4 limitation Sableye to start with. I was like, what if we just like keep limiting their energy, or their, what's it called? They would just like bring something up and trap it. Cause like the only way people were moving their Pokemon around was Guzma. Like the only people were switching their Pokemon around was Guzma. And that didn't work. And I was like, all right, well, how do we beat other stuff then? And it was like, all right, well, what if we just played it like normal kind of control stuff? But then it's like you have Sableye as like a closer. Specifically in the Lost March matchup, it was super important. But then other matchups, you could use it as well. You just get ahead and then you just like trap something in the active with Sableye and you win the game. I take full credit for this deck. I hit 2 I was so pissed at that. I hit 2 Vikarays, and Vikaray is a terrible matchup because they have 2 Energy Recycler, Vikavolt to accelerate energy into play, and then they also use Zeraora's GX attack to put 5 more energy in play if you somehow use Articuno plus enough Crushing Hammers to limit their energy enough. Versus Meganium Mill. All right, hold up. I gotta see what Meganium Mill is, but I'm sure Zoro Control wins. Oh, nah. It ain't happy because you just guru everything back as they mill and they eventually run out of resources and you don't. All right, so definitely a Zoro Control dub. And then Passimian versus Duskmane Necrozma. Duskmane Necrozma was such a meme. It was the most popular deck at St. Louis Regionals. 0 made day 2. It was such a meme. The deck was so bad. Duskmane Necrozma, the set it released in, St. Louis Regionals happened right after the set release. It was the most popular deck in the tournament, and 0 made. That's like unheard of. That's probably an anomaly in Pokemon in general. 0 of them made day 2. That's absurd. Like, that's like ridiculous. The most popular deck having 0 make day 2 is unreal. So I almost want to give Passimian the edge because of that. What did Passimian do? Passimian just like kind of 2-hit KO'd stuff, right? You just kind of like 2-hit KO'd. They were both pretty bad decks, but I'm gonna give Passimian the edge because it's cool. All right, back to the top. Zone Duskmane. Yeah, dude, sometimes they just get... I judged at Philly Regionals. I judged a Duskmane player into freaking Candy Magnezone knockout. It wasn't so dumb. Didn't that happen to Pigrom at some regional? I doubt it. Pigrom was pretty good. All right. Zorotails versus Zoro Decidueye. I think you give the advantage to Zoro Decidueye. Like, Zorotails was a very good, versatile deck. This is Zoroark Decitails. ZDT. So you have 9 tails, but Zoroark Decidueye is like a super consistent deck. Like, I actually really like Zoroark Decidueye. I think you actually give Zoroark Decidueye the edge here and move it up over Zorotails. Tapu Koko Poison versus Vikaray. You give it to Vikaray, I think, because Vikaray can play a really small bench and make it really hard for spread decks to do anything against it. You just set up like one Vikavolt in array, and you like bench another array when you need it, or set up your other Vikavolt when you need it. I had that happen to me when I was playing Passimian with Coco, and it was really annoying. Oh yeah, Passimian was good against evolved stuff. That's right. Actually, then maybe Passimian actually might take the L to Duskmane then, right? Coco Poison won an SPU, I think. Yeah, but it was in Europe, so it like kind of counts. I'm joking. It's just a joke. I'm kidding. Yeah, I give Vikaray the edge over that. I actually maybe that is true. Maybe we do give Duskmane the advantage over the Passimian, to be honest, because of that. Blacephalon versus Zoroark, Zoro Dose for sure. The Dose is just too strong against Blacephalon. Lost March against Guardy. Give it to Guardy. Because Lost March can't hit high enough numbers to actually KO anything, and then you just max potion, you get ahead in the prize exchange. It's a bracket, but you do it based on who would win the matchup. Duskmane beats Zoro Control. I know, that's such an L. We're about to get down to here, and Duskmane's about to pass Zoro Control. Zoroark versus White Kyurem. White Kyurem, if I remember correctly, was actually like fine against Zoroark decks. I just put it over Zoroark Weavile because Zoroark Weavile was just a bad deck, and White Kyurem was like an okay deck. I don't think White Kyurem would... Yeah, you probably just give the advantage to Zoroark still. You just judge them, and then you're probably going to win. You go KO the Zeb Strike and judge them in the same turn, and they just lose the game. Malamar Spread against Baby Buzz. I feel like you're probably giving that to Malamar Spread. Yeah. In that first prize card, as Baby Buzz would be like really hard. Zoro Control 0 diffs the format. Nah, I don't think you're beating Duskmane though. There's a couple of decks. If a decks have enough energy and they can accelerate it into play, you just kind of lose. Especially if it has the Robombi too. I remember that. What is the Robombi? Like search your deck for 2 energy or something. All right, Gramble against Wallstall. Now Wallstall's matchups were kind of like 100-0 or there were some like okay closest matchups. But did Wallstall I assume beat Gramble, right? They just couldn't get down to 0 cards in hand often enough, right? I remember Tord. Actually, we're gonna base it off this list though. Tord played a Rangaroo in their Granbull resource management to be able to beat control decks. Let's see if this list has it. Nope, this list doesn't have it. So I assume Wallstall wins. Granbull can't KO Regigigas. Yeah, so you eventually just lose, right? Like you eventually won't be able to get your hand to 0 anymore. And then, yeah, I think we have to, unfortunately, I think Duskmane Necrozma beats Zoro Control, even though I hate to say it. Like, they just have too much energy. Let's take a look at the Necrozma list and see if we can come up with a win con for our control deck. That's a lot of energy, man. It's just like a lot of energy. Yeah, I don't think you're winning. I don't think Zoro Control can beat this much energy. I don't think it's happening. I don't even know what the Dialga does, but I assume you lose to that as well. Oh, is that the one that de-evolves your Pokemon? Yeah, that deck, that was a cool card. Cool card for sure. All right. Necrozma moves on. Let's go back to the top. Zoroark Decidueye versus Vikare. Probably a pretty close one, but Vikare is just not a good deck in comparison. I'm gonna give it to Zoro Desi. I actually think Zoro Desi was a really good deck overall. It was kind of one of those decks where you didn't have much agency, but it was just like very fast, very aggressive, and you just kind of outpaced a lot of decks in the format. Zoro Dose versus Gardevoir. Can Dose KO? Someone in chat, let me know. Can Gyarados KO? Can that one-hit KO Gardevoir? Could Dose get to a one-hit KO? Because if Dose can one-hit KO Gardevoir, I think that actually might be favorite for Zoro Dose then. It would probably still be close, to be honest. Dose can 230. That was Guardy's HP, right? It was 230. So it couldn't one-hit KO the Duskmane, though. Or the Solgaleo. Wouldn't be able to one-hit KO the Solgaleo. But he's to evolve from Ditto. Oh, okay. So I'm going to give it to Gardevoir, then. I'm going to give the advantage to Gardevoir, then. 4 cards in discard plus ban, but it has to evolve from the Ditto. So if they just nullify the Ditto, or they go KO that Gyarados, you can't do it again. Okay, so I'm going to give the advantage to Gardevoir, then. I'm a big Guardy fan. Actually, we're closing on the end here. We got the insane seeding. Yeah, it's kind of absurd. Does Duskmane beats Wallstall, right? Like, it's the same thing. It just beats the control deck. And then Malamar Spread versus Zoroark. Zoroark decks generally have the advantage against the spread decks. That's pretty simple, I think. I'm assuming it beats Wallstall. I assume you beat the Wallstall as well. Because you can one-hit KO the Gigas, which is the big thing, and you have an answer for Hoopa. You have 4 stadiums to recover. Oh yeah, Mount Cornet was an insane card. Didn't it get 2 metal energy out of your discard pile? What an absurd card. That's insane power right there. Was the seeding for this thing random? Was this just like 32 decks and then randomly seeded, or was it based on the limitless points for the deck from that format? Was that how these were seeded? How were these seeded? Does anyone know? Okay, so Zoro Desi versus Guardy. Guardy moves on. Zoro Desi doesn't do enough damage to deal with Gardevoirs. And then definitely give the edge to Zoro. Zoroark is a nice aggressive deck. You know, you just target down the Magna Zones. So then we have Zoroark versus Guardy in the finals. Can I not move on one to the... We can't pick a champ? I was going to pick Gardevoir for the champ. Gardevoir deck was so good. That was actually one of my favorite decks to like play ever, was the Gardevoir deck. It's on the bottom. Select the tournament winner. Oh, shoot, Gardevoir. Okay. All right, chat. That's my what is this again? Sun and Moon to LOT gauntlet presented by or done by Mello. So shout out to Mello for putting the bracket together. I have Guardy winning over Zoroark in the end. Duskmane got way too far. Thanks to some favorable seeding, Duskmane got way too far in the bracket. But yeah, these are actually super cool.